Three. Okay, here we are in the LPL versus LCK Grand Final of Rift Rivals 2017. We had done the previous games, and whoa, what games they were to cast. Aren't you so excited, Mr. Gold? Hasn't this just been the Tournament of Dreams?
Oh, I think it completely has. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of tears, a lot of surprises, and it's really going to be something I'm looking forward to continue to watch. I want to see what region is going to be the Grand Champion region, and we're literally going to be going, oh my God, the Koreans have lost, but it's not over yet. I don't know how the map's going to work if KT pulls off a win. Is there going to be games 3, 4, and 5? I just don't know. I'm not a tournament director yet. So we'll see what happens. And first picks we'll jump in is with the Zach. We're going to have the big, strong engage right there. I'm liking Zach. He's been the meta pick for a while, very contested, and it looks like they're hovering over the Rek'Sai. But Rek'Sai's been gotten some buffs recently, Rav. Do you think they could be seeing him as a counter play, bruising damage to Zach?
You very well could be, but they're choosing instead to pick the support. And when you're picking the Rakan, you're picking some great mid to late game engages, and where I think it's a counter pick over to Zac. So when you pick a Rakan, you might also be seeing the Xayah, who's also not banned. You have the Kalista as well as the Caitlyn banned that OMG's decided to, and they went ahead and picked their AD carry and their support on the first rotation. Again, how I'm saying it is the counter to the Zac, which they left open. So could be on purpose.
Some of these new champions that Riot is making are making the meta strong and healthy. You know, you have so many mobile AD carry. This makes Engage so strong. But now that you have the Recon who has Featherstorm just to get out of the Engage, it makes a lot more picks viable. And this makes not only use utility bots that you're stuck with. And speaking of utility bots, we have an Ashe right there with the enchanted frozen arrow. And look at that, the Zyra as well. Like this is it is locked in. This is going to be super engaged right there. You're going to see the Zyra flashing in with the thorns engaged. It's going to be deadly. This is the old classic bot lane that C9 used to run.
Yeah, a lot of power there, and when you're picking Zyra, you know that Misfortune is not going to be picked after you because Rakan has already been picked. So very powerful traditional bot lane of Ashe and Zyra, and then now up against the new powerhouses of Rakan and Xayah. So very interested to see the old school versus the new school.
Well, it looks like the Exel, I'm having some technical difficulties on my end with the dog. Could you mind just jumping through the rest of picking bands, and I'll join you for when the match starts?
Oh, no problem there. Just like you were saying earlier, Rek'Sai has been getting some buffs, and here he goes as he picked up on the first rotation. So both teams have picked their jungler and their bot lane, which leaves counter picks for mid and top lane. So we're going to have to see which team prioritizes which, and coincidentally, you're also going to see these bans with entirely of top and mid picks. So with Renekton being banned first, followed by the Jace, another top ban, followed by the Camille, and really there's not many top champions left to ban with Kled already gone. So I expect to see a mid ban here from KT Rolster. There's really, I don't believe, anyone else, possibly Fiora, possibly Kennen, who you might be scared of, but that's not the case, and as predicted, went ahead and banned the LeBlanc to try to counter any major sort of advantage that's going to be going over in mid lane. So possibly banning the LeBlanc because you have Pawn wanting to pick a specific type of mid champion, and Corki would be that champion. You don't want to be facing a LeBlanc when you're Corki. but you also want to go ahead and respond to the roams that Talia also brings. So this is a classic matchup that we've been seeing all tournament long, but especially from the LPL and the LMS region that we did earlier. It was constant Talia versus Corky, just going back and forth on which team got which. And here we have KT Rolster picking up the Corky in response and going ahead and locking in the Jarvan for that big carry potential from the top lane, as well as the mid-game teamfight potential. So we're going to have Jax or Jarvan going in, followed by the other, and all kinds of damage from the blue team, KT Rolster. So we have to see what type of response that OMG goes and picks up. Shen could be one, a little more global presence, not necessarily trying to win the lane against Jarvan, just trying to go even in CS. And if he gets out of that lane even with Jarvan, he's going to be very happy, as he's very confident past level 6 that he should be able to affect the map. At least more so than Jarvan. Jarvan has to physically be there, has to use a teleport, has to roam, whereas Shen can be in the top lane and still stay in the top lane and go ahead and ult one of the divers as Renekton or Talia tends to do. So very standard team comps here, nothing really out of the ordinary. The only thing that's been a little bit out of meta was Corky, but now since he was changed to have more AP damage with his autos, he's seen a lot more mid-play. So the simple fact of changing his auto attack from a 50-50 AD to AP split to an 80% AP split to and then 20% AD has seen him explode in popularity. Now it's about a 70-30 split between mid and bottom lane for the Corky. He's about 70% mid lane and about 30% bot lane. So we're just gonna have to see how this works out.
Where are you pulling that number from?
That is from ProBuilds. That's probuilds.net. And you can see I also have a whole bunch of other statistics for flex picks that I can go ahead and send you over for our live tournament cast at the Ontario Esports League live at Raiders Saturday, July 22nd. Really very excited, and I really hope to be casting with you, Mr. Gold, as not only are you ineffable, you're my good friend as well.
Oh, I like when you flatter me like that. Yeah, sorry everyone for the delay there. I had some difficulties on my end. I have some dog with some leg problems, and she was rubbing her bum in some discomfort, and I have to attend that. So, unfortunately, but we haven't missed too much. Thanks for taking care of the ban phase. I'm liking what we picked. Very strong team from KT versus again, seems to be a lot of the way teams are going. Strong engage versus ability to make picks and stuff. And this Ira is going a little bit too far out, but I don't think she's going to be hit too hard for that.
That's 4 players.
She didn't take the bait
for red. So little does she know that there's that many players around. But this is Mata we're talking about, arguably the best support in the world. Very well could have known that there was 2 enemy champions in the brush in the bottom side there.
Yeah, but Matt has fallen off recently. He isn't being able to make the impacts on KT like they thought he was going to be as a #1 uncontested pick in the world back when he was playing in the LPL league. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening. Sometimes players fall off. Like Faker's still one of the best players in the world. But even they've dropped down. They're no longer the #1 team. The recent power rankings, Samsung has taken over the LCK. Looks like we got actually playing. Taunt's going in. OMG is going on the top lane, but nothing too much is going to be coming from that. Just but it's a pretty severe chunk out.
Well, everyone's spreading out. No aggression. The only type of attempt of an advantage that either team tried to get was OMG trying to pick up that pick on Mata in the bot lane. No other sort of aggression, no advanced wards. Everyone's just going to be starting normally. They're just fine to start with standard lanes, and we're going to have to see who makes the first gank and first attempt at a kill.
Oh, and here, this is the rec size. This is after his buffs, where he's no longer has that ability to signal out. He's no longer just a knock-up bot. He's going to be more of a bruiser now, where basically he's going to be marking targets, diving out of the fight, regaining a bit of health, and diving right back in. But looks like we have an engage possibly in the bot lane. Are we going to see well, no, oh, he misses the knockup, but it looks like they went to Zyra. They're bringing him down. First blood going over to OMG. Nice rotations there, nice plays, and they're able to get the knockup.
Mr. Gold, I just need
Poor
to check.
support. Why is it always the
I just need
support?
to check your time. I'm right now 3:05. I think you're about 5 seconds ahead of me. 3:10, 3:11, 3:12. I think we just have a little
13,
bit of time.
14.
Okay, so now 15, I'm ahead.
17.
20, 21, 22. Are we about synced up now?
I'm 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
All right, now we're all synced up. And, all right, excuse that, folks. We just had about a 6, 7 seconds. Not sure how that happened, but here we are. We're back and all synced up. And, yes, that was a first blood kill for OMG. And who do we have picking it up? We have the man, the myth, the legend, Rakan, getting that first blood gold.
Oh, who not there to go on as support? I'm glad we're synced up there. I guess sorry for the confusion, no technical difficulty. You can say maybe we're standing united together now in the cast.
Oh,
ha 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 ha.
Touché, mon ami. But absolutely getting preparation for our live event cast where anything can happen and something normally does. So, hey, great practice, and we're going to keep rolling with these punches. And there's no use re-recording because we're practicing for live, and this is as live as it gets. Dog issues, technical issues. This is just exactly what the type of casting practice that we want to have so that we can give the best possible live cast for any of you folks lucky enough to see Exel and Mr. Gold.
And it only happens once a blue moon, so it looks like we're having a gank. Oh, here comes the elastic slingshot going in, but able to dodge the Zac, but damage going back on score. Nice shot there. See that power in the range of that Zac? They're able just to fly in from downtown. I was trying to figure where the focus was going there, and like the Rek'Sai, that's the same team's jungler. Then all of a sudden across the screen, you see this huge stretchy arm blob going in to crush you. That's the power that the Zac brings with his early ganks.
What's especially interesting is when Zac upgrades his E, his jump first. I've seen it occasionally. It's not normally a low elo type play, but in high level play, you go ahead and you upgrade your jump, which increases its range, and players never expect it. And your first 2 or 3 ganks generally are super effective. And hey, if you can start snowballing the game, 2 or 3 kills up, that's all you need. And if you're a little bit slower in the jungle, that doesn't really matter. You're getting your laners ahead, and you're getting all kinds of pressure throughout the map. So we're going to have to see what this Zac does. He's level 5 right now, and we're going to have to pay attention to his next gank to see how far he travels. But we have Rek'Sai just getting the Scuttle Crab in front of the Ocean Dragon, which is going to be the first dragon of the evening. I'm not sure if it's evening for you folks, but it's the classier way of calling a time. Good evening.
Or maybe if you want Bonjourno. It looks like he's going a little strut through his jungle. Look at the strut on this guy, without his upgraded boots, and he looks like he's just going to miss it. I'm not sure why he wouldn't point that towards the Scuttle Crab to see if that's been taken, but I don't think they realize it's coming. Oh, of course they do now.
We had Talia thinking about placing a roam, but instead places a pink ward inside KT's jungle. So right behind that dragon pit, not only do they have Scuttle Crab, but they have a pink ward. And look at all of that red vision all around the dragon side. They are setting up for this dragon, and let's see when they pull the trigger, because they have perfect vision. I think as soon as they see Zac somewhere on the opposite side of the map, that's going to be when OMG decides to go ahead and take this first objective.
Definitely. Both these team fights, what do you think is going to be stronger? I think it's pretty much going to have to be hands down for the KT, because OMG is more of a separation team comp. Why would you want to draft like a separation team comp when you see like a power pick like Zac go first? Is that just because that's the best advantage? Do you think OMG is more comfortable, or because the Chinese like the dive? Or, oh, speaking of the dive, look at KT. It looks like they're going to be diving on the Shen.
It's actually a really good point that you bring up, because you have the Talia wall, and look at how many champions can go over the Talia wall. You have Zac, you have Jarvan, you have Corki. Really, only the bot lane is affected by that wall, and here they're attempting to go for the first tower. KT has a huge advantage here over the OMG, who are only pushing with 2 members, whereas KT's pushing with 4. And first tower gold going over to Jarvan, but he's got to share it with 3 other team members. Still, great trade and an early lead for KT at 500 gold up at this 8-minute juncture.
They could possibly be putting pressure on it. Yeah, it looks like they're putting a bit of pressure on the second tower now. I think because this match is not going to count, they're going to be playing it a little bit differently, things they wouldn't normally do. You're going to have a bit more of aggressive plays just to see what's going to happen. It looks like they're going to be taking that over into, I believe, Ocean Dragon.
Yep, here we are, and this is with the great... that great vision warding all across the map. Nowhere is KT in a position to respond to this. Instead, they decided to put pressure on top lane. So they were not worried about this first dragon being taken, but OMG did seem to be gunning for it. So because we're watching the professional leagues, we do see the next dragon is Ocean. So possibility for OMG to get a double Ocean dragon, and with their comp, they do kind of have a sort of disengage comp. Really, they're not the best dragons for them, but a double Ocean Dragon would certainly go a long way against this powerhouse KT comp. If they can get away, that is.
Well, it's going to allow them to stay in lane longer. Once they're in lane longer, they're going to be able to make their picks, what they're going to have the Talia for. Even though Rek'Sai can't globally jump, she's still going to be really good in some of these skirmishes. She's no longer just a tank. They're going to have that extra damage there. Yeah, a couple, water drakes. This is probably the comp you take it on, right? You have a sustaining support with heals, because this is pretty much what you'd like on it. And speaking of old return players, welcome Pawn back to KT on the back playing for the LCK. One of the world champion players with Mata right there, but he's also fallen from grace, and this could pretty much be his return to say, you know what, I'm still world champion. I'm sorry I went to the hospital. I'm back now. I'm supercharged. But, once Hai went to the hospital in North America, he wasn't really the same afterward. His injuries can be crippling sometimes for a player's confidence.
Well, and you made an excellent reference to Pawn and Mata. This KT team was supposed to be the super team. They were supposed to be the SKT destroyers, but not everything quite working out. They have been able to beat the lower ranked teams in LCK, but they've struggled against SKT, which is the team that they built around for beating, and all this individual talent hasn't really necessarily been able to combat the excellent teamwork and organizational skills of SKT. And it just goes to show you that pure raw talent and micro is not enough to win. You need so much more in this game, League of Legends, and that's why it's called an esport. It's many different aspects, and I really can't wait for the 2018 season where you have franchising and when you have esports going into the mainstream with both Overwatch and League of Legends having massive expansion plans.
Oh yeah, and what's best is you have another opportunity for Liquid to finish 4th last, so that's always got to be exciting.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. So many curse references.
It's almost like it's somebody has sat down on draft board and made it, but look at all these legendary players on this team. But with the way things are going, with Longzhu coming up, we could see a world where one of these top teams just don't make it. SKT has been having problems. Could this be the problem of taking Huni up top, who's not really the strongest top laner in the world, and teams are finally gelling together and taking advantage of that? We no longer live in a world where your top laner can go 0-4 and you still win the games, as rightfully it shouldn't be, because he's probably one of the weaker links right there. But mon ami, what are we going to do? So let's get back into the next action. What time are we going to know the next dragon is spawning?
As soon as it hits 2 minutes to spawn, it will show on the top left when it's 2 minutes to spawn. But we do know that initial information, it is going to be an Ocean Dragon. So here we have the gold even at 19,100, and Rek'Sai trying to sneak this second objective, and he's going to get some help from Rakan. Rakan is up there giving Rek'Sai some wards. Probably doesn't want to stay into the Rift Herald pit because they're going to wonder where the Rakan has went, and he's just going to go and help the... Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow just going out and missing. Very, very close. Deft, known for his excellent arrows, and just get a little bit short, a little bit too low. I don't think it would have been a kill, but looking to be aggressive, and they're looking to exchange bot tower. So it's going to be Rift Herald for bot tower. Once again, a trade on the opposite side of the map.
Oh yeah, but let's not forget that pretty much the maps are going to be mirrored right now with Dragon for Rift Herald for towers just to even up, and we're going to see a lot of pushing power now available for the KT team, and looks like we have the Rek'Sai poking around, and a little missile barrage saying hello, keeping players honest. We could see it maybe a seismic. I'm not quite sure what the next engage is going to be honest. I think the focus is going to be definitely on the mid lane. They want to open up the map a bit more, especially if we can take a pick, transition that into a tower. You have Sheen procs from the Corki, but the wave clear is just so strong. Like sometimes I really hate the main. I think the game would be a bit more interesting. You couldn't just rely on safe wave clear to keep you to stall the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and with OMG sending 3 people back to base, they have fresh buys on 3 of their champions. Talia heading to bot lane, and we have Dragon up in 15 seconds. I expect Rek'Sai to make his way down towards this Dragon. Mata already having a control ward in the small river bush, and Rek'Sai is clearing the green ward now above the dragon pit. Corki being very careful on when to pick the control package up, and Pon choosing to take it, and now is going to be rushing up towards this dragon. He wants to get into this fight, and we have Shen with no ultimate but does have TP, and Jarvan also has TP. So both top laners have TP, and we're going to have to see how this fight takes place, and you have to think that KT is the one going to be forcing it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think right now it looks like they're going to have the stronger engage on the KT. They have the ultimates up. They have the passive up on the Zac. That's going to be a huge thing for team fights to work. As long as Zac's passive up, the KT team fight goes from S tier to like S plus tier, maybe even S plus TK1 telecom tier, right? Back when Faker in his glory days. So you gotta be watch out. But it looks like they're gonna be having the vision battle right there, and Ass is shooting off for a hawk shot. Just take a quick peek, and
appears to be scuttled.
I'm looking forward to the action tomorrow when.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm looking forward to the action tomorrow.
What type of action are we?
Here we go.
Tomorrow?
Zac's didn't catch the Talia. So much action, and there goes the enchanted arrow. Corki goes Valkyrie's in. He's dropping damage onto the back line. Score's going to go down, but he's going to have to pass it the back up. Here comes Zyra ultimate to keep things going. Interesting. The Cataclysm has not been dropped yet, and he's going to die without dropping the Cataclysm. Huge.
Okay,
that was the wrong champion.
Yeah, slightly wrong. That's okay. It's a 3 for 3. No, 3 for 2 rather. And OMG with the slight advantage. Sorry, KT with a slight advantage with the 3 kills in their favor. Doesn't seem like either team is going to have enough of an advantage to go ahead and pick the dragon up. But Smeb on J4 is going to look to push bottom lane and might even get a few hits on this turret if he feels spicy.
And let's see, I want to see what happens with the J4. Like, I feel at some point bigger impact. The engage is perfect with the Zyra's grasping roots right afterwards. I like this part. Let's see where things sort of fall apart. I guess they kite back a bit. Rek'Sai goes down because he's not full tank. Talia gets cut off. I guess there wasn't a prior target. If you look at the upper part of the map, there was room there to do an engage right there. And at this point, J4 did have some tank to them. So I'm kind of curious why he didn't want to the engage. I think maybe they weren't sure if the Rek'Sai was going to die. so they might have saved that. Or
I think
I
this
don't
is
know.
a
What do you think,
I think
Rav?
this is a specific trade here. I'm just going to go to the action at hand because we are having an objective being taken. That was Rift Herald used by OMG in order to get position on this dragon. That was the entire reason why it was used. They were not trying to push mid lane. Talia with the ultimate, cutting off the team. OMG is going to try to take this. The steal coming in. Zac steals it. Score! What an amazing play! And they're going to see if they want the engage. And Shannon Crystal Arrow missed. KT should be backing off here. They do not want this, but yes, they do. Jarvis coming in. Cataclysm used on 2 members. Beautiful play there. And not only do they get the dragon, but a double kill at that. So that's a 2-for-1 in favor of KT once again. And the Ocean Dragons taking over. And that's 1 dragon apiece with a little bit of an advantage for KT.
What an explosive team fight. The Zac comes in, steals the dragon, which again, that's not what they wanted. Talia's wall's not able to segment the right targets, and then we had a nice cataclysm to chomp down the people running away, and it's going to bring them right back in the game right there. Awesome plays. That's the kind of things we want to see. And now the J4 is going to be rotating down to bot lane. Awesome plays, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I think it's so much more interesting. We actually have control of the camera instead of being on this, the whim of the cameraman, right? And there's the action going back to the mid tower, which I was talking about. They're going to want to get this first tower to really open up the map with their diving. Here goes the diving right there. They're catching the Rek'Sai. He goes down. Oh, poor lovers. One of your lovers is dead, but I'm sure he'll be revenged. It's nice seeing a woman pulling a lot of the effort there, right?
Well, I mean, this is exactly the comp, but let's just hold off 1 second and see the awesome play by Score getting that kill. I thought they would just want to take the dragon and call it a day, but no, Smeb is like, I want 2 more kills, and goes ahead and picks up the assist at least, and with that cataclysm onto 2 opponents. And not having any flash to get out of there. And Cataclysm is just so strong when you're not able to get out. And Rek'Sai can bury under it. Talia possibly can take the wall, but you really need a flash against this Jarvan to get out of his Cataclysm. And that's not something that OMG had at their disposal. And to go back to that mid fight, after taking that mid tower, that was exactly the type of comp that KT has. Is OMG, Rakan, being a little bit too ahead of where he should be and staying a little too close to that turret that was going to go down anyways. That first tier turret, you don't want to be caught. And with the awesome engage by Zac, not able to escape his fate, which was death.
Yeah, so it's almost like this is the lovers there. Oh. It's going to be the strong age. Now at this point, they're going to have their foot on the gas pedal right now. Oh, and he gets out of the way for his support to get hit. Are we going to have stretchy arms going to each other to engage? Here goes the Cataclysm is popped right now. He's locked in. Great in play. What a power engage. That was 3 different types of power there just to get in with the Zac, the J4, and the Enchanted Arrow with damage going there. That's nice. What an AD carry, eh? He gets out of the way for his support guy to get hit. Is that the kind of things we expect in this world?
Well, in the League of Legends world at least. But this is KT playing their comp to perfection, going ahead, prioritizing objectives, and then when a kill could possibly happen, landing the CC, following it up. And yes, even though Shen did use his ultimate to try to mitigate the damage, the Jarvan with the follow-up from his team was just way too much. Jarvan now with the Black Cleaver, going to be going into his finished Hydra item soon. And we have another offensive item just for good measure. Really, Jarvan doing all kinds of damage and is that scary beast, not having died yet. Just a perfect engage tool along with the Zac, who is going full tank at this moment and should be finishing his second support item sometime in the next minute or 2. Did I say support item? I meant
well, the damage
item.
Is definitely... Well, technically, tanking item is supporting, right? So unless we're talking about, oh, here goes the Valkyrie on the Shed. Their Phosphor Bomb hits, Valkyrie into there, and Gatling gun goes there. But looks like he's going to probably get it. The Enchanted Arrow comes out and misses, though. I should have had a little bit of ahead, though. One more Phosphorus Bomb, a couple Missile Barrages. That's going to be 1 dead Shen. He's not tanky enough to survive the onslaught right there. And that's looks like the game is going to be snowballing soon. It was not already snowballed. I think we're missing maybe a Snow Day Syndra right there to keep the balls rolling.
Yeah, maybe a Nunu snowball. Yeah, maybe something along those lines. But very unusually, I've actually seen Deft miss more arrows this game than hit. I swear that I see that gentleman hit 80-90% of his arrows on a regular game, and this one he's just a little bit off. But the rest of his team picking up the slack. Corky 3-0-4, and the Jarvan not dying as we stated before. Nice 3,400 gold lead. And they have this team exactly where they want them. Mountain Dragon coming up in 45 seconds. They're not thinking of it just yet, but I assume you're going to see both teams starting to go towards the bottom side of the map shortly and start putting some wards. We have Corky being very, very pushed up in the bot lane, sending Shen right back towards his base, and he's not fearing a gank at all.
Oh, and I don't think he'll probably just drop too much right now. If Foley's ultimate is not up, it would have been nice if he would have been able to sneak away and use it. That's probably his dream scenario, but unfortunately, we are what we are. The Baron will be up for the next play of the game, I think. If KT secures it, that's going to be sort of dangerous. With a 2-minute spawn on the Mountain Dragon, that's going to be important for the Baron play next. So I don't know. It looks like
it is just up though. Mountain Dragon did just spawn right now, so it looks like KT is going to be the ones to start it, and OMG appear to be responding either to farm their jungle or possibly going to go towards Baron. But they're just going to go ahead and give this dragon up. That's going to be a second dragon for KT. This one a Mountain Dragon.
Yeah, that's pretty much the play. I don't think you can risk. You can't take another team fight loss. You're already almost at a 5k gold lead. Another few kills over would not pretty much would seal the deal on this game, especially with like the Talia having the Banshee's Veil not having her full damage up yet. She's gonna need a little bit more time. Looks like they're thinking of maybe a pick right now on Smeb right now, but I don't think that's there's no way that's going to happen. And Corky seems to be causing one-on-one with action with the Shen. They're keeping him there, keeping him nice and fed. He's got a nice farm right now, 254. He's going to be hitting like a truck right now if he gets a couple crits. And they don't have vision on meta. Oh, looks like they're opening up on the Rixon down there. Oh, shoots away, unable to get away. And the Prey Seeker goes out just to say hello. Are we going to see an arrow?
Holding the arrow for now. We're going to see what KT has planned. It looks like they're prioritizing the Baron a little bit more. Who going to head that dragon? That was KT. That was Corky soloing that dragon. Or what wasn't it? He was the only one that was down there. Oh yes. We were calling it. No, I apologize. Yes. Brain fart on that one.
Yeah, there's just too much action right now. That's okay. You could say our brains are goo right now. All this zacking around. And it looks like the split push has started, but Shen hasn't got to the point where he can be that annoying pesky person just because the J4 has his teleport up. Again, more vision lines are being drawn. It's going to be basically on Exel not to get caught out. That's more my concern right now. It's a very tough warding task, especially when you consider the type of engage tools just to blow him up. Yeah, you can see he's very apprehensive about warding.
KT trying to set up an advantageous fight here around the Baron. We're just going to have to see how this one lines up. OMG not wanting to go check into KT's jungle without the whole team, and right now they're just being extremely careful, not wanting to get blown up, which is exactly what KT's wanting to do. They're playing a very patient game here, even though they're up almost 5,000 gold, not wanting to lose a big team fight here where they're clearly in a lead.
Oh, completely. Well, this is where the nerves of steel. This is where the champions are separated. I'm liking the rework that they've done to Ashe recently. I like how they try and find ways of giving champions niches. Instead of Ashe's critical doing critical damage, they just do critical slows. I think. Oh, there goes the arrow. Not the target you necessarily want to hit, but thank God it's everyone. Here comes the Zac going right in. Here comes the combos. They're jumping in all over the place. Seismic shoves going in. Jarvan Force running for his life. They grab the Jarvan in the back line. Looks like they're retreating. Nice kill. 1-for-1 side. Both teams have lost a member.
Yeah, but that is OMG.
Oh, they're going right back in.
Oh, they're going back in. So Score missed the knockup, but it's still going to keep walking up. KT does have a slight damage advantage. Beautiful knockup onto Pawn. They want to be targeting Corky. It's a great target. And if you're not going to hit Corky, you better hit Ash. But if you can't hit Ash, you got to hit somebody. And there's Zach getting tangled up with Shen. Both teams getting low. KT needing to back. But first, going to get a little scuttle crab for their troubles.
Yeah, I think KT was just trying to push their Goldie advantage by getting a secondary engage. They weren't able to bring it down. Zach had to blow his ultimate, just let's bounce to get out. And it wasn't the type of... they're close to getting a second pick, but they're fine doing a restart in the team fight. Big ultimates were blown. Yeah, we'll see the recap of this play. So the arrow does go on the Rex side. The pile engaged. The roots. Too much is blown, I think, on the first part. Which leaves him vulnerable. Again, you have the Glenn first. Red entrance going on there. He does all the CC, but that pretty much resets the fight with all the CC on the support and just makes it a one-on-one trade. But very close, razor thin margins, and obviously the re-engage goes back. Obviously, why is he always trying to kill the support? But he's a very hard one to catch. You need a real hard CC to bring him down.
Zach did have the jump right on Rakan, but Rakan was able to dodge out, so good on him. But there's Jarvan finishing it up on the Rakan, getting the double Cataclysm, looking to finish up. Here is the jungler, Zach, going in, knowing he was going to die, but having the passive, they're going to go towards Baron, it looks like. They have all 5 members up, and that's a 4-for-0 trade. They're looking to take this game by the cojones.
And they're going to be bearing it up. Nice job there. Nice clear was playing. The team fight wins earlier, just coming into play right now. And with the Mountain Dragon, yeah, I think that sucker's going down. I think KT is pretty much going to be in the driver's seat for the rest of this match. And again, let's see the play. Zach goes in. Huge display. Knockups are there. Smeb, good guy. Smeb comes in, cleans him up. Then he locks the rest of the team with a Cataclysm. They're still retreating. The dive is still going in because Zach has his passive, and then it's not much you can do after there with the empowered Trinity shots from after the phosphorus bombs and missile barrage all day. That's just too much damage.
So 2 points.
They
right
don't
there.
have the mitigation or the front line.
Look, OMG was prioritizing getting that first tier mid turret against KT, but in doing so got caught with numerous CC, not even on their side of the map. Very, very poor positioning trying to get that tower. They had their melee champions in right by the tower, and that let Zach engage, followed up by the Jarvan TP into the Flag and Drag, perfectly lined up against the Rakan. And while we were watching that replay, KT sent their support and their AD carry to go finish up that top tower. So went and picked up a tower that we haven't even seen, increasing the gold lead now at 10,000.
Yeah, this game pretty much to all she wrote. And I'm this confident with my gold lead that I think it's time for the match that Mr. Gold takes care of some domestic issues that keep nagging. And with that, I'll have to bid you adieu. If you want to do some more action later, I'm down. But I have a dog and some food to take care of.
Pleasure. You got to take care of the dog first. Casting can wait. Can't wait to see you live in the arena. But we'll be doing another cast shortly. So, Mr. Gold, a final word for the folks listening at home.
Make sure to watch us on Saturday with the OESL,
Ontario Esports League.
Yes, that's the one in particular, especially. That's just more for dramatic effect. Make sure to watch us on Saturday. It's gonna be a lot of fun, gonna be a lot of action, and can't wait to see you there. Mr. Gold out. Bye, Rav.
Thank you. Okay, well, there's not too much game left. It doesn't look like. Gold lead now ballooning almost to 11,000. We're just going to see how efficiently KT finishes this game off. I don't see how OMG can win a team fight here unless KT is diving a turret and just getting way too aggressive. But the way they've been playing, extremely measured. But here we have the Zach engage. He's been doing it all game. Score beautiful tanking, beautiful utility. Here we have the redemption, going to heal them right back up. Really, there's nothing much that OMG can be doing right now. They're trying to poke, but just the poke is not doing enough. The Zyra plants doing more than just about any of OMG is able to poke, and that's just their support. So here, going for the second inhibitor, really OMG can't defend this. They need to just clear some waves, and hopefully the Baron will be off by the next rush, and just try to clear some waves, especially mid and top, before the super minions start spawning, and we'll see if they can get lucky. Maybe put a couple wards out in their jungle, maybe get a lucky pick on Jarvan or on Ashe or Corki. Really, it hasn't happened, but anything can happen in this League of Legends, and this is why we play the game, this is why I love casting it, and this is why you watch. So let's see how KT can efficiently finish this off. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a preview of how they're going to do in the remaining LCK season, as OMG is #1 on their side. It's very interesting how the LPL has their league set up. They have it split between an A side and a B side, and OMG got the much more favorable B side. Many weak teams there. RNG and LNG, I believe, are the second and third place teams, and they are not looking that great. Whereas on the A side, you have EDG and I believe WE that are tied for first place, and a much more competitive division there. So we're going to have to see how KT finishes this off. They are looking to make a strong run in the LCK. Again, this is a super team that is meant to make a challenge for Worlds. They want to win Worlds. And to do that, you have to go through the Indomitable Champions, SKT. And here the dive. Beautiful engage once more by Zach. He's been doing it all game. Followed up again, once again, by the Jarvan. Corki picking up the kill. Double kill on the Corki. And all they're gonna see is who they're gonna give it for. Triple kill on the Corki, making it look good. Pawn, making it look really classy, really attractive. Getting that third kill. His team gave it to him, let's be honest. And with a massive 16,000 gold lead, they're going to finish it off, and a very clean finish. Extremely patient from the 15-minute mark on. They could have been aggressive. This team is known for their aggression, as you can see with their dive comp and how they've been playing, but just that really careful play around Baron, making sure not to misstep, making sure that it's OMG if anyone was going to be doing the misstep, and they did do that in mid, trying to knock that tier 1 down, and in turn losing a team fight and inhibitors in the process. So pleasure casting for everyone. That is now a series of 2 for the LPL, 1 for the LCK, and mr.gold and I are most likely going to be casting the 4th game, and we're going to see what's going to happen here at the Rift Rivals Grand Finals. And hell, this is where the real action is. LPL versus LCK. Exel, subscribe me. I love doing this for you guys. Subscribe my channel, and let me know what you think with a comment. And I appreciate everyone who leaves me a comment or who goes ahead and subscribes to my channel. Take care.